Hello students, this is Neeraj Bansal. Welcome back to my channel, Math Navigator. In the last video, we have discussed all the laws of all the theory which is required for the probability, all the type of events, conditional probability, independent events, and then mutually exclusive events. Got it? Today we are going to do some IB style questions on probability. Yes, again, I will be sharing a worksheet along with this. So, given sorry, I'll give you a link of the worksheet in the description box. You need to follow it. You need to do it. And then, yes, if you want to do more IB style questions, you can definitely contact me on the number given below. Right. So let's do some questions. So let's take. Okay, right. So let's do this question and see what it is saying. As we have already discussed that there are three ways of doing this. One is the probability, one is the two-way table and the tree diagram and the Venn diagram. So let's see what the question is saying. People exiting a new ride at a theme park were asked whether they liked or disliked the ride. The results are shown below. Use this table to estimate the probability that a randomly selected person who went on the ride liked the ride. So first we need to make a total here. So let's say 58, 55 plus 28, 8, 5, 13, 3, 5, 2, 7, 1, 8, 83, right? Right, yes. So 7, 4, 47. Out of this, I have the total 7, 3, 10 and 8, 4, 12, 12 plus 113. So let's use the calculator, right? Take the calculator. So we have 55 plus 28. 55 plus 28 plus 17 plus 30. Enter. 130. So total is 130, right? So number of favorable outcomes over total outcomes. So like the right. So like the right, 55 plus 28 over 130 is the answer. So this is the answer for A part. You can obviously calculate on the calculator. If you want, I can calculate the one and the rest you can calculate. So let's do this. 55 plus 28. I'll copy it. I paste it. Right. Then hit enter and then divide by 130. So the probability comes 83 over 130, right? So my answer is 83 over 130. That is a child and dislike the right. So first it should be child and dislike the right. So 17 children dislike the right. So I'll write 17 over 130. This is my answer. B is an adult or dislike the right. That means either he is an adult or he dislike the right. So both. So dislike the right are how many? Either he is adult, right? So 28 are adults, or dislike the right. Dislike the right are 17 plus 30 plus 28. So this is my thing. 28 plus 17 plus 30 divided by 130 will give me the answer. 75 over 130 is. I hope this question is clear. For the, again, you need to see my video on probability. You will see it in the playlist, IBAHL as well as AASL. You need to check that video and then come back to the, got it? Will be benefit. Let's move to the next question. So this is the question which is based on Venn diagram. If you find any doubt on the Venn diagram, you can see my video on the Venn diagram, right? So let's first do this question. This Venn diagram shows the number of students in a particular class who study geography and theory. Find the probability that a randomly selected student study both of these subjects. So first we need to find probability. So first we need to make the total of the students. So how many students are in the class? 5 plus 17, 9 and 3, 12, 12 plus 7. So 29 students are there in the class. Now A part. Find the probability that a randomly selected student studies both of these subjects. So for both, that means A and B. That means both of these subject is the intersection. So 17 over 29 is my answer for the first part. Let's come to the B part. Find the probability that a student studies at least one of the subjects. That means either geography or history. So either geography or history. 5 plus 17 plus 4, which is 26. Right, so 26 over 29 is my answer. Let's come to part C. Find the probability that a student studies only geography. Only geography means he's not studying history. He's only studying geography. So which is this? So 5 over 29 is my answer. I hope this question is clear to you. Perfect. Right. Let's move to the next question. This is on right. So basically this question is on additional law of probability. What is additional law of probability? We have already discussed what is additional law of probability. Probability of A union B is equal to probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A and B. Got it? Very good. So probability of A union B. A union B is given 0.7 to me, and then I have to probability of A is 0.6, probability of B we need to find, probability of A and B is 0.3, right? So now my answer is, let me use the calculator for this. So 0.7 plus 0.3, 0.7 plus 0.3 minus 0.6, hit enter. Answer is 0.4. So my answer is 0.4. So probability of B is equal to 0. Done. It was so simple, right? Let's move to the next. This one. See what this question is saying. It is saying 30 students were given a history test, 7 students score on A and 11 students score on B. So if I make a Venn diagram for this, a student is, because see, A and B, a student can either score A or B, right? So I'll say 30 students are there, 7 scored A and 11 scored B. A student is random. Let A be the event that the student scored on A and B be the event that the student scored a B. So are A and B mutually exclusive? What is mutually exclusive? Mutually exclusive means cannot happen together, right? So mutually exclusive events are those which cannot happen together. So obviously a person cannot get both A and B, so they are mutually exclusive. So A part says mutually exclusive, right? Let's come to the B part. B first. Find probability of A. So how many students have scored A? 7. And how many are total? 30. So 7 over 30 is my answer. Probability of B. So probability of B is 11 over 30 because 11 students have scored B. Now then comes third. Probability of A and B is obviously 0, right? Now I have to find probability of A union B. So I'll use additional law of probability, which is probability of A union B is equal to probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A and B, right? So probability of A is how much? Let's call it 7 over 30, plus probability of B is 11 over 30, and probability of A and B is 0. So my answer is 11 sevens are 18 over 30. So obviously, yes, you can further do it. If you want to do 6 are 18 or 6 3 are 18 and 6 5s are 30. So 2 over 5 is the final answer. I hope this is clear. Perfect, right? Now let us move to the next question. This is the question from conditional probability as I can see. Right. So basically, in mutually, first we need to understand in mutually exclusive events, mutually exclusive events, probability of A and B is equal to, and we have already said in conditional probability, probability of A given B has already occurred is equal to probability of A and B divide probability of B. So if I'm saying they are not independent of each other, that means probability of A, because they are not dependent, is equal to probability of A and B divide probability of B, which will give me probability of A times probability of B should be equal to probability of A and B. If this condition holds, this means independent events. Otherwise, they are dependent events. So let's do this. A part. So what my A part is saying, probability of A given B, because we have to find it. Right, so we already know the formula. Probability of A given B is equal to probability of A and B divide probability of B. Probability of A and B is equal to 0.1 divided by 0.4. So this is 1 over 4. Let's do the, you can do, leave it in fraction, or you can find it with the calculator, or you can find it whatever way you write, fine. Probability of A is equal to this, probability of B is equal to this, and probability of A union B is equal to this. So now in this case, I'm given probability of A is equal to 0.3, probability of B is equal to 0.4, and probability of A union B is 0.5. So I can find probability of, because my formula says probability of A given B is equal to probability of A and B divide probability of B. So I am given probability of B here, but I'm not given got probability of A and B. So I want to find it. So what I can do is I can use the additional law of probability, which says 0.5 is equal to 0.3 plus 0.4 minus probability of A and B. That means probability of A union B is equal to probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A and B. So probability of A and B is equal to 0.3 plus 0.4 minus 0.5, which will give me 0.7 minus 0.5, which will give me 0. Done. Perfect. Right. So let's move to part C. A and B are mutually exclusive. A and B are mutually exclusive means probability of A and B is equal to 0. So probability of A given B is equal to probability 0 over probability of, right? This is C. Clear? So this question is done. Let's move to the next question. This is done. Let's do this. A can contains 4 blue and 2 green marbles. One marble uh, is randomly drawn from the can without replacement. Again, this word is very important. If it is with replacement or without replacement. With replacement means we have given the ball back into the, with replacement means we have taken out the ball and put it back into the can. Without replacement means we are not putting, and its color is noted. A second marble is then drawn. Find the probability that the second marble is blue. So let's do it. So we need to make a tree diagram for this. Right. Now what I need to do is, let's say if I take out the first ball, it can be blue or it can be green. It can be blue or it can be green. It can be blue or it can be green. But this is with replacement. So 4 and 6. So probability of blue is equal to 4 by 6. And probability of red, green is equal to 2 by 6. I'm leaving it like this only, not converting into fraction, because else it can get confused. So in the end, you can do it. So probability of blue is 4 by 6 and probability of green is 2 by 6. Here, see, without replacement means, now when I taken one red out, so one red is ball is like I have taken out, so I'm left with 5 balls, right? So blue next is also blue, so 3 over 5. Now my probability here is by 5. If it is green, then blue is the same, so 4 by 5, and then this green becomes 1 by 5. So this is my tree diagram. Find the probability that the second marble is blue, so second is blue. So this is the case. So for second ball blue, probability of second blue is equal to 4 by 6 times 3 by 5. So 12 by 30. Now you can do 3 fours are 3 tens are 2 by 5. This my answer is 2 by. Got it? Yes. So this is my, the first marble was green, given that the second marble is blue. Now this is conditional probability. If you are able to write the formula properly, then only you will be able to solve in conditional probability thing. So what this question is saying, the first marble was green, given that the second, so always write first what is given. Given that the second marble is blue, so the first marble was green, so I have to find this probability, right? So this is probability of first marble green and second marble blue, right? First marble can be either green or blue, but no, first marble has to be green and the second marble has to be blue, and then divide by probability of blue, right? So probability of green and blue, so probability of green and blue, first is green, second is blue. So 2 by 6 times 4 by 5, divide probability of blue, which is 4 by 6 times 3 by 5 plus 2 by 6 times 1 by 5. Right, so you can just calculate this over the calculator and then it will be whatever is your answer. So if you want, I can calculate it over the calculator as well. So let's do it on the calculator. So I'll write control and hit this, and again control and hit this, and then below also control and hit this. And now I'll put the values 2 times 4 divide 6 times 5, then again this will be a little longer. Okay, no problem. So 4 times 3 divide 6 times 5, then I'll come here plus control, then I'll hit this 2 over 30. Hit control, enter. So 0.571 is the answer. Got it? I hope this is clear to you, right? So in the next video, we'll do the next thing and I'll attach the worksheet for you. And yes, if you find any doubt or if you want to contact me, you can definitely send me a mail and I'll reply back to you for sure as soon as possible, right? So we'll meet in the next video. In the meantime, please subscribe my channel.